Hi friends, this is lecture number 32.1. In this lecture, we will see the circuit operation and waveforms of three-phase half-wave controlled rectifier. See, this is rectifier. Here, three thyristors are connected in parallel with common cathode. First, we will see the output voltage waveforms from alpha is equals to 0 for R and RL load. So here alpha is equals to 0 means omega t is equals to 30, because here we are taking alpha is equals to 0 for omega t is equals to 30. So you have to remember this, because alpha is always equals to 0 when thyristor is fired, and here we are going to fire the thyristor at omega t is equals to 30. That's why here alpha is equals to 0 for omega t is equals to 30. Suppose thyristor T1 is triggered at alpha is equals to 0 or omega t is equals to 30. So what will happen in this case? So T1 when fired, it will conduct from omega t is equals to 30 to omega t is equals to 50. We can see that waveform of phase A is at the top. So VA0 is greater than both VB0 and VC0. So when T1 is triggered, then T3 and T2 will go into reverse blocking mode, because their anode voltages VBO and VCO both are less than VA0. It means only VA0 will appear at output. So here you can see that VA0 will appear across output. Similarly, suppose thyristor T2 will conduct, and when it will conduct, suppose thyristor T2 is fired at omega t is equals to 150 degree. So now when T2 is fired at omega t is equals to 150 degree, then it will start conducting from 150 and it will conduct up to 270 degree, and this total time period is 120 degree. And here we can see that from omega t is equals to 150 to omega t is equals to 270, VB0 is greater than both VA0 and VC0. It means we will get VB0 at output voltage during this period, because this is the highest voltage during this period. So here concept is we will only fire that thyristor which has highest voltage at that time. Okay. Now see, this thyristor T3 is fired at omega t is equals to 270. When we fire this thyristor T3, then thyristor T2 will automatically go in reverse blocking mode. So when we fire the thyristor T3, it will start conducting, and it will conduct from omega t is equals to 270 to omega t is equals to 390 degree. And when this thyristor T3 conduct, then we can see that this voltage VC0 is highest of all. It means VC0 is greater than both VA0 and VB0. So only this thyristor T3 will conduct, and we will get output voltage V0, that is equals to VC0. It means each thyristor is conducting for 120 degree here. In this case, waveform of output voltage will be same as that of three-phase half-wave uncontrolled rectifier during this period, because here alpha is taken as 0, because thyristors are fired without a delay. So it will basically act as uncontrolled rectifier. So these waveforms are same as that for uncontrolled rectifier, three-phase uncontrolled rectifier. Now we will see the output voltage when alpha is less than 30 degree, and these waveforms are for R and RL load, both R and RL load. So here again we take alpha is equals to 0 for omega t is equals to 30 degree. Now suppose this thyristor T1 is triggered at alpha is equals to alpha, and we know, as I already told you, this alpha is less than equals to 30 degree, because now we are going to see the output voltage for alpha less than equals to 30 degree. So suppose this T1 is triggered at alpha, and we know that we have taken alpha is equals to 0 for omega t is equals to 30. So obviously omega t will be equals to 30 plus alpha. It means thyristor T1 is triggered at omega t is equals to 30 plus alpha. Here it means this omega t will lie between omega t is equals to 30 to omega t is equals to 60 degree, because this alpha is less than 30 degree. So basically this thyristor is fired between omega t is equals to 30 to omega t is equals to 60 degree. So now when this thyristor T1 is triggered, it will conduct from 30 plus alpha to omega t is equals to 150 plus alpha. That is, it will conduct for 120 degree. And when T1 is triggered, then T3 will go into reverse blocking mode and we will get the output voltage that is equals to VA naught. So we will get V naught is equals to VA naught during this period. Now suppose when thyristor T2 is triggered. So when thyristor T2 is triggered, see thyristor T2 is triggered, it will conduct from omega t is equals to 150 plus alpha to omega t is equals to 270 plus alpha. And when thyristor T2 is triggered, it will conduct for a period 120 degree only. And when T2 is triggered, then this T1 which was already conducting, it will go in reverse blocking mode. So we will get only T2 conducting during this period. And when T2 conduct, we will get output voltage that is equals to VB naught, that is equals to Vm sin omega t minus 120 degree. Because here VA naught is applied to T1, VB naught to T2 and VC naught to T3. Now see, when T3 is triggered, what happens? When T3 is triggered, it will conduct from omega t is equals to 270 plus alpha to omega t is equals to 390 plus alpha. It means it will conduct for again 120 degree. And when T3 is triggered, then T2 will go into reverse blocking mode automatically. So we get output voltage VC naught during this period. So in this way we will get this waveform. It means each thyristor again will conduct for 120 degree. Now we will see the rectifier operation for alpha is equals to 30 degree for R and R loop. Now here alpha is equals to 30 degree. So when alpha is equals to 30 degree, then it means omega t is equals to 30 plus 30, that is equals to 60 degree. It means, because why it is so? Because here we take alpha equals to 0 for omega t is equals to 30 degree. So it means thyristor is triggered at alpha is equals to 30 degree, or we can say that thyristor is triggered at omega t is equals to 60 degree. So when thyristor T1 is triggered, it will conduct from omega t is equals to 30 plus 30, that is 60, to 150 plus 30, that is 180 degree. So thyristor is converted from 60 degree to 180 degree. And when thyristor T1 triggered, then already conducting T3 thyristor will go into reverse blocking mode. You can see that here voltage across thyristor T3 becomes negative. So it is already get reverse bias. And when this thyristor T1 is triggered, so it will go into reverse blocking mode. So here we get output voltage VA naught from 60 degree to 180 degree, because VA naught is applied to thyristor T1, and when it will conduct, then we get output voltage equals to VA naught. Now see, when thyristor T2 is triggered, so when T2 is triggered, it will conduct from omega t is equals to 150 plus 30, that is 180 degree, to omega t is equals to 270 plus 30, that is equals to 300 degree. And when T2 is triggered, then T1 will go in reverse blocking mode automatically. So when T1 go into reverse blocking mode and T2 is triggered, we start getting output V naught is equals to VB naught, because VB naught is applied to T2, and we will get this output voltage VB naught from 180 degree to 300 degree. Now suppose when thyristor T3 is triggered, When thyristor T3 is triggered, then it will conduct from omega t is equals to 300 degree to omega t is equals to 420 degree, because 270 plus 30 is equals to 300 and 390 plus 30 is equals to 420. And here when T3 is triggered, then T2 will go into reverse blocking mode automatically, because T2 was already conducting. As soon as we triggered the thyristor T3, then T2 will automatically go into reverse blocking mode. So in this case, we will get output voltage that is equals to Vc naught, that is from 300 degree to 420 degree. So from alpha is equals to 0 to alpha is equals to 30, the waveform of output voltage, we can see that it is continuous and it is same for both R and RL load. Now we will see the waveform of output voltage for alpha is equals to 60 degree, and here now load is inductive, suppose. So now we will see the waveform for condition alpha is equals to 60 and for inductive load. See what happened. Now here again we will take alpha is equals to 0 for alpha omega t is equals to 30. Suppose this thyristor T1 is triggered at alpha is equals to 60. Alpha is equals to 60 means omega t is equals to 90, because here omega t is equals to 30 for alpha is equals to 0. So omega t will be equals to 90 degree. So when thyristor T1 is triggered, it will conduct from 30 plus 60, that is 90, to omega t is equals to 150 plus 60, that is 210 degree. And when T1 is triggered, then already conducting T3 will go into reverse blocking mode. Here we can see that after omega t is equals to 150 degree, Va naught becomes negative. But this thyristor T1 will continue to conduct. Okay, here you can see that after omega t is equals to 150 degree, this Va naught becomes negative, but still this thyristor T1 is conducting. It will conduct because why this happens? Because here load is assumed highly inductive. So when load is highly inductive, it will keep the current through thyristor T1 above its holding current. So that's why this thyristor T1 will continue to conduct. So we get output voltage Va naught from 90 degree to 210 degree, means 210 degree. Similarly, when thyristor T2 is triggered, it will conduct from 210 to 330 degree, because 150 plus 60 is equals to 210 and 270 plus 60 is equal to 330. And when T2 is triggered, then T1 go into reverse blocking mode. Okay, so when T2 is triggered, then this thyristor already conducting thyristor T1 will go into reverse blocking mode. So we get output voltage Va naught from 210 to 330 degree. Similarly, when T3 is triggered, it will conduct from omega t is equals to 270 plus 60, that is equals to 330 degree, to omega t is equals to 390 plus 60, that is 450 degree. And when T3 is triggered, then T2 will go into reverse blocking mode immediately. So when we get output, so we get output voltage Va naught from 330 degree to 450 degree. So this is complete waveform for highly inductive load. Now what will happen if alpha is equals to 60 degree and load is resistive? See, we know that for resistive load, output voltage cannot be negative. So this negative part of output voltage waveform, it will get eliminated when load is R type. See, this waveform is for RL load, and here this is negative part. So it will get eliminated when load is purely resistive, because in case of resistive load, output voltage cannot be negative. So we will get this waveform for R load, and we can summarize this lecture as this output voltage, we can see it is continuous for RL load for any triggering angle. It means if load is RL type, then this output voltage will always be continuous. But when load is resistive, then in that case, this output voltage is continuous only if alpha is less than equals to 30 degree. And when alpha is greater than 30 degree and load is resistive, then output voltage is discontinuous. So this is the summary of this lecture. So we get output voltage continuous when RL load and for RL load and any triggering angle, and we get discontinuous output voltage only when load is resistive and alpha is greater than 30 degree. So this is all about this lecture. I hope you all clearly got the concepts, and in next video we will come up with some more concepts. Till then, thank you. Jai Shri Ram.